right, good morning, everyone. I have to say it's incredibly inspiring and humbling just to hear so many things that are going on in education. So to begin, I'm from Arcadia Unified. My name is Gazanian. I'm the Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer. In case you're wondering, that is a real job. That's usually the follow-up question, so I'll answer right now. I manage a lot of partnerships, an internal venture fund for our teachers, and really just any of the new big things we're taking on in Arcadia. But today I want to talk about something that may or may not give you hives if you've been in education for any long amount of time, and that is professional development. And to give you an idea about kind of what professional development is, where we've gone as a district, I want to tell you a story about from my early days working in our district. So I came through the technology ranks, not necessarily the classroom, and I was very excited in my first year working in technology that I was going to teach a professional development seminar. You guys can see probably where this is going. I was excited. I was going to share some information with teachers. I had a lot of teacher friends. It was my big opportunity to share some of the things we were doing in our district. So what I did is I emailed my friend who was a teacher in our district and said, "You're coming to my session, right? Like, I'm excited about this. I think you're going to be excited about it. Come join our professional development." Didn't hear back for about half a day, and then I received this. Take it in. Not the inspiring moment we were hoping for. And in talking with more people in our district, this is how people feel about traditional professional development. A Google image search since then has revealed a whole collection of memes around this. And finally, because it feels timely, people don't like traditional professional development. And it doesn't mean it hasn't been useful, doesn't mean some people haven't enjoyed and found it useful, but we realize that we need to do something about engagement around professional development. We happened to be reading the book Drive a number of years ago, and in the book Drive, Daniel Pink says, when you really want to increase engagement, when you really want people to be motivated, there are three things you have to look at. Autonomy, in other words, are people self-directed in their work? Mastery, do they feel like they're progressing towards acquiring necessary skills? And purpose, is it meaningful to them? Do they believe that they're getting on board with what they need to do? So we did a little self-assessment on these traditional professional developments where people sit in a room and a lot of times it's sit and get. And here's what we came up with. Autonomy was low. You will come sit in this room and listen, and that's going to be about it. Mastery was varied. Sometimes you left at the end of the day with an increased skill set. Sometimes you didn't. Sometimes it's somewhere in the middle. So it was really kind of hard to track where that was. And finally, purpose. The purpose was always dictated. We said, when you come to this professional development, you will take this away, and then that's where you're going to be at. So we said there must be another way. And that's where we founded SWAGs, which was Small Working Arcadia Groups. So we pulled a group together and said, okay, what would a new version of professional development look like? What are some of the challenges we could take on, and what would be helpful? We negotiated 7 half days throughout a year. This speaks towards that ongoing sense of mastery. What we discovered is it's hard to master anything in a day. I'm not sure anyone's really mastered anything in a day. So we spread out these meeting times for people to get together 7 times a year and work on different areas. The topics are actually nominated by educators. So for example, a number of years ago, we realized that we needed to address social emotional learning in a new way, that we needed some character education. So we go out to the district and say, here are the list of topics. And 8 to 10 people said, I really want to take on social emotional learning. And the beautiful thing about that is it's not the people you necessarily expect. You have teachers, but you also have people who are on the counseling side, which is obviously very important. You have people who are in the PE department, which you wouldn't necessarily have thought would be part of that group. We open up for these large vertical teams where people are very engaged in the topics. The group itself decides the trajectory of the group, and we found this to be very interesting. So for years and years in education, we had people coming to us and saying, give us more freedom, give us more freedom. And as a district, we said, this is right. Like, we pay our teachers a lot of money. They're incredibly intelligent, they are well educated, and they care deeply about these kids. Go for it. We know we need something in social emotional learning. Take it and run with it. We got a call about the next day and said, what do you want us to do? And we said, well, no, we want you to decide what to do. I mean, here are kind of the general framework, but what is it that our students need? So from the district administration level, with these teachers, we've allowed them to form the outcomes of the group. The social emotional learning group, the character ed group, did an amazing job, made a recommendation to the district, and now that's a program we have across the entire district. So again, having them form that purpose has been incredibly helpful. Another one, for example, is math pathways. We realized that we really only had a few pathways for kids going through math. So you may have students who are in one of our math classes who just feel stuck. Maybe they were accelerated early, but they need to slow down a little bit. Maybe they missed the boat to jump on, but they're accelerating faster, but there's no way to do that. Our math teachers worked with our administrators through our small working group, and were able to come up with a really, really neat way to do that. So what did we find when we went back and looked at these SWAGs and kind of evaluated where we're at? Well, we discovered that our autonomy is high. We let our teachers self-direct through these groups what they're working on. Robotics, for example, is another one, and they were able to make some recommendations for replacing a decade-old robotics program. And what's really neat about the autonomy piece is we allow our groups to change direction midway through the group. If they decide, hey, we need to change this up. And every year, this group we have that comes together can say we need to focus on different areas. So it's very adaptive. As a district administration, we work with our teachers to say these are the hot topic areas, this is what we're seeing, but it's really the teachers who have that buy-in. Mastery, encouraged and self-paced. We allow teachers to go through this process of finding their own training. If they need a speaker, we'll go out and actually hire a speaker for that group. If they want to do a school visit to another district, in fact, looking around, I think some of our teachers have visited districts who have representatives in this room. So that sense of mastery and building has been absolutely wonderful. And the purpose is owned by the group. You know, I know unions and some of the challenges of negotiating with teacher groups. We experience very little of that because we're co-creating solutions through our small working Arcadia groups. So really there's no surprises. We've worked on these solutions together and that purpose is co-owned. So finally, I just want to say it's been amazing to let go of that control, to allow teachers to kind of route their own course and to work together as a district. If you have questions afterwards, I'd be happy to chat with you. Thank you.